I went to Bath, where I interviewed Manuele, who lived there for
34 years.
We talked about the cost of living, employment situation, and pros and cons of the city.
In Bath you will struggle. You will seriously struggle.
I smell chocolate. This is my hostel, by the way. If you want to visit Bath, I would totally recommend this prison-like hostel because of its location and affordable price. My hostel looks like a prison, but at least I have a really lovely view. Look what I found. This is where a lot of people go for a bath, and it's similar, very similar to the one that is in Budapest.
Do you work here?
Have you booked?
No, just wanted to ask you questions.
Yeah, that's fine.
How long is it?
So it's 2 hours session.
Okay, and how much is it?
So on Monday to Friday, £37 each, or on Saturday, Sunday, 42.
Alright, that's fine.
Can you believe this is a hospital? Wow. I found my favorite name of this street. How long have you been living in Bath, and why this city? Why didn't you move to some other place in the UK?
Right, I've been living in Bath for 34 years, and the only reason why I came in Bath and not anywhere else was because I came to join my then fiancée. We met on holiday. She was living in Bath, and I came here to see her. Originally just for 2 weeks, and I still got the return ticket, which I kept. But then I found a job straight away, and the choice was basically to carry on working here. So I decided to stay, and that was it.
So basically you moved for love? That's it, okay. One thing that you struggled the most when you came in Bath?
The only problem I had was the level of racism that I met. I was insulted on a number of occasions because of my nationality, my accent, my lack of English, because when I came to England I couldn't speak English at all, which I learned very quickly because I could give back whatever I was receiving in terms of insult. One of the most shocking experiences was to be insulted by an 83 years old guy. He stopped the car in front of me without indicating. When I beeped, he came out of the car. He detected my accent. He informed me that I was in the army in Italy during the war, that he should have killed all of us because we were all dirty peasants and whatever. But what shocked me was the virulence of his insult, the expression on his face of pure hate, and the racism that was coming out of it. I had a few other incidents where I was insulted for being Italian, and I must admit that they stopped when my English became better. That stopped that kind of abuse. And also it stopped because Bath has had a cultural growth of multiculturalism, which at the time wasn't present. And I can honestly say that those kind of behavior is a behavior that was only present in the past.
How are people in Bath?
That's the only downside about people in Bath. I mean, they're not very friendly. In Bath, and things that my friends that have come visiting have noticed, you enter in a shop, people are rude. I think they are trying to be formal, and they don't realize that they are extremely rude, very offish. Even in the street, I mean, I can walk for hours in the street of Bath without talking to anyone, and I've been living here for 34 years. I lived in Belgium for a month. It was a total different thing. In Bath, in the bus, you enter, you come out without spending a word, and it's probably typical of all the south of England.
Is Bath an expensive place to live?
Bath is extremely expensive in terms of housing. The cost of living itself, I don't think is more expensive than anywhere else.
How much would you say a small house costs here in Bath?
Obviously, different areas go different prices. But if you are a family of four and you want to buy a pretty house, you won't find much below £800,000, £700,000. Obviously, the more you move on the outskirts, the cheaper the houses are.
And how much does it cost to rent a house?
Student houses, you are expected to pay between £450 and £500 per room. If you want to rent a small flat, you're talking about £800 to £1,000, and we are talking about one bedroom flat. A house will knock you £2,000, £2,500.
What do you do to maintain yourself and your family?
I got some investment, which obviously is giving me a little bit of leeway. Also, every Saturday I have a stall at the local farmers market, and I sell my olive oil, the olive oil I produce in Sicily, together with other Sicilian things that people have come to appreciate. My main job during the week, and that's why I know the cost of housing in Bath, is home maintenance. That pays quite well, especially lately, because a lot of Europeans have moved back to Europe. It's very difficult to find labourers, and the less we have of those people, the higher the prices are.
What are job opportunities for non-students and students?
The hospitality sector in Bath is booming. Bath is full of restaurants, full of bars, full of cafes. For students it's extremely easy. For non-students it's a little bit problematic. Bath hasn't got no industries. Unless you are good with computers, it doesn't offer a lot. Bath always been a city with a very low level of employment.
What's the difference of Bath compared to 34 years ago? What has changed?
The lack of dark faces around Bath. Bath was very much a white city. So all the black people, Jamaican people that lived in Bath were concentrated on a small area. It was like a ghetto. Nobody wanted to live on the houses around, which were going for very, very cheap. That was something that, compared to London, it was extremely evident. In the last 30 years, Bath had an enormous influx of both Middle Eastern people, European. There is also a French community, and you meet people from Sweden, from Spain, from Portugal. Bath is very gentle now. In fact, there's not a chance that during the Brexit referendum, Bath choose to remain by 70%. I've seen those changes happening during the years, and has been a slow change, but a definite one.
A must place to visit in Bath.
I think in Bath the experience is as a whole, walking the street of Bath and all this Georgian architecture, the Royal Crescent, the Circus, which is world famous, the Palm Room is a grand coffee shop where people like Nicolas Cage go for a tea. And one place I will take everyone that come and see me in Bath is Alexandra Park, and from the top you could see Bath underneath with a sort of drone effect. Absolutely mesmerizing view.
Would you recommend people to live in Bath?
According to me, Bath is a perfect place where to live. It's a city without being a city, busy without being suffocatingly busy. It's got a fantastic nightlife without the troubles associated with nightlife. I believe it's the perfect place where to raise your children. I've raised 3 children here. I would have chosen a different place for them to grow up.
Have you ever thought of living somewhere else at some point in your life?
The more I knew England, the less possibility there was that I could move somewhere else. I consider myself lucky and unlucky to have ended up in Bath. Lucky because it was the perfect place where to end up. Unlucky because if I ended up somewhere else, even in Bristol, I would have used the return ticket without looking back at all.
You mentioned that you lived in London, so what are the differences?
I had a girlfriend which lived in London, and she convinced me to try to live in London. At the end of the 4th week, I started begging my ex-boss to have me back. I hated the traffic, the noise, the impossibility of moving without delays, without being stuck in the car for hours. It wasn't a place to live. I mean, yeah, you find a job that pays you well, but quality of life, London is absolutely zero.
Pros and cons of living in Bath.
Probably the people are not as friendly as in other parts of the country. But if you decide to start a family and buy a house, in Bath you will struggle. You will seriously struggle. Unless you decide to live on the outskirts or in a village 10, 12 miles from Bath, but not in Bath itself. That's about it. The pro, in Bath you have everything. There is that gentle air. There is never any trouble. It's beautiful. It does capture you with the beauty of its history.
Have you ever had any issues with Brexit?
Because of my activity, obviously yes. I had to stop selling tuna in olive oil, which was by far my most popular product. I'm having problem at the moment importing my olive oil, so I had to find someone that was willing to subscribe as my supplier, and the red tape is unreal. Also, another product that was very, very popular was limoncello. The alcohol I was importing from Italy, which is a 95% pure alcohol, is illegal in this country. So the limoncello has to stop as well.
Interview completed. Now let's explore Bath. Imagine having the whole place for yourself, only for yourself. I like Bath a lot. I can see myself living here. Now that you learned about the living situation of the city, would you like to live in Bath? Is this the right city for you? Let me know below. Personally speaking, I'm impressed by its beauty. It's nothing like London. It's a relaxed city, not too busy, and it's walkable. You don't really need the public transport. I loved Alexandra Park and that you can see it from below. I know I would like to live here, but only for a short period of time. Also, if you're interested in buying good quality Italian olive oil, you can find it at the farmers market.